We've got a question from Black Cat here who says, lore questions. What to do with Sylvanas and Undercity / Lordaeron? Make Sylvanas the new jailer, visitable for fans but punished. Make Undercity Lordaeron, only sanctuary in the original Warcraft continents. So what to do? What do we do with Sylvanas and what do we do with the Undercity and Lordaeron? Because what's going on there? So with Sylvanas, in my view, she's got to go.
Absolutely. Get her out.
Yeah, I feel like they're trying to. I mean, they tried to model like little bits of Arthas Darth Vader. I actually remember somebody saying that that's something Chris said at some point, which wouldn't be surprised.
That would make sense. Yeah.
But there's just something about the intentional nastiness and the intentional like evil theatrics consistently of Sylvanas that for me it's just like she can never have a role in the civilized peoples of really anywhere again. No. She, I think at best she's outcast and is just, it's like, yeah, whatever, but if you come back to Azeroth, we're going to kill you.
Yeah, sure.
Like it's either got to be that or she does get killed or some form of, spooky fantasy punishment.
Yeah, she can be Illidaned, locked in the maw for all eternity, or deleted.
Yeah.
Note, not killed, deleted, because killed means so many different things in World of Warcraft.
Ever think about when the Emperor of Mankind fought Horus, at the very end, he didn't just kill Horus. No, he focused all of its psychic energy to basically remove Horus from existence.
Yeah, that's what needs to happen.
So is that what we're going to do to Sylvanas?
Yes. Yes. Get the Emperor of Man.
Oh, that would be an interesting universe crossover. I mean, who knows? We're probably going to space soon enough. Now, as for Undercity Lordaeron, now that's a really fun one. Because it also begs the question of Teldrassil and all of that stuff. Where, I think there has to be some change that... there has to be some change. Because even if that was not the most popular plot point in the universe, it is something that happened in the universe. We have to, instead of erasing that or undoing that, we've got to make good of it. So... it's kind of hard to say. I think that we basically need a second founding of the Forsaken. Because Sylvanas kind of used a lot of people's hopes and dreams to her own ends. But those people's hopes and dreams were actually real. So the Forsaken need a leader who will actually meet them at that, where their hopes and dreams will be met, where they will have this sort of positive, aspirational, exciting thing. So what I think needs to happen is a refounding. Now, what does that refounding actually look like? It's quite hard because, we have to have this very rigid Alliance Horde thing. Because some sort of weird thing where you actually restore upper capital city Lordaeron, to like a minor bit of its old former glory, but it's actually populated by the Forsaken. Maybe even, some Forsaken Blood Elves, or, elves and stuff.
Yeah.
That actually could be really cool. It would make a lot of sense for the world.
It would be very nice to see the Forsaken leave some of their Forsaken roots behind, in a sense, to be something that's not quite as bleak sounding.
It's really tricky because it's like when people play the Forsaken, I think they do want that just metal looking character, right?
Yeah.
But where their storyline kind of needs to go for how Blizzard are doing them right now is a bit different from that.
Yeah.
So it's quite hard because when I think about world building and stuff, I think they need a second founding. One that basically gives you the Thralls Orcs version of the Forsaken instead of the sort of needlessly cruel experimentation sort of pseudo-evil feeling people. But then that is going to erase so much of the identity that people really loved in playing of those like crazy, wacky, edgy, a little bit evil sometimes outcasts.
Yeah, they've got a really, really tough thing to do there with if they try to go for a redesign, it has to be a marriage of like how disgusting Tearsful Glades buildings looked. Like disgusting. Like I actually think, I don't know if it made it onto the background music playlist for this, but there was Tyrant Mill, the tavern music I think it might actually be in the playlist, but it's this really distinctive kind of, oh yeah, I can imagine this pub doesn't smell very nice kind of vibe to it. I think like keeping that while also like, it's weird. Like I think they could get away with, instead of Undercity being underneath and there being this big circle of green goo, whatever, I can't remember what that was ever supposed to be. But I think if they manage to take all the upside architecture and make it just a bit stinking,
Yeah.
I think people will be accepting of that and go, okay, we're maybe, maybe we're learning to be reasonable to other races, but we're still this grimy like heavy or death metal people.
Well, I guess the way you could sort of do that is you could actually have it so that, they did get screwed over and whatever, and then the other factions of the world, perhaps even including the Horde, are like, you boys and your leader, what the hell did you do? You actually just cocked up the entire universe. Screw you guys.
Pretty big.
So then that's a way to have the Forsaken, actually have a pretty, good story and to still keep the edginess because they'd have to respond to that. So that.
I mean, a lot of the time you see setups that people, that was a noise outside. Snap. Hopefully
Yes, I believe the youths are throwing firecrackers and burning things outside.
That's awful nice of them.
Standard.
Yep, standard for 25 past 11 on a Friday night. Don't you love sort of period from April to July here in Northern Ireland? It's great. It's great.
Yeah, indeed. So, I think for the Forsaken, that's that. There are ways to sort of keep their edginess.
Yeah.
It's just, what I want basically is a meaningful progression of all the different people. So while that's going on, I want to see, what are the Blood Elves up to these days? What's up with Gilneas? Have they reclaimed it? Is it still a big sludge pit? Who knows? Something there would be great.
Yeah.
Sweet Host then comes in with the final super who says, we have arrived, and it is now that we perform our charge. In the fealty of the God Emperor, our undying Lord, and by the grace of the Golden Throne, I declare exterminatus upon Sylvanas. Open parentheses, hopefully. Close parentheses. Alright, exterminatus it is then. Let's get one of those crazy viral plague bombs. It's quite good. The grey goo disaster scenario?
Yes.
The grey goo one is like, imagine it's like the paperclip thing. It's you make it, just to explain to everyone, it's like, if you make an AI and it, all the AI does is, you have to make paper clips. And I think a clicker game was made out of this. It was very fun. But then, the AI would just go and turn the entire universe into paper clips. The exterminatus, there's various different forms of exterminatus. There's something cyclic, something. There's a nuke that basically puts the entire atmosphere on fire. So that's very fun in Warhammer 40k. And then, trying to think, is that the one they did in Istvan 4? Not great. Is that Istvan? No. It's the one with the marine, is it an ultramarine? But basically it turns all like biological matter into goop. Nice. And it's very disgusting. Warhammer's very fun, and you know what? Sylvanas, she deserves a little bit of exterminatus. Now that said, unfortunately exterminatus is, destroying a planet. So I guess maybe we can put Sylvanas into one of the Sisters of Battle's penitent engines.
Ooh, nice.
If you want to see something gnarly, Google a penitent engine.
Oh man.
I have one at home. I just haven't painted it yet.
Oh, okay. I thought not an actual one. You've got a model of one, not a real penitent engine.
Oh, I have a real penitent engine at home. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. I was thinking when you're saying about grey goo and the paperclip stuff, there's actually another one that I kind of like the idea of, but it's mostly a joke. But it's what would you do if you ate a penny that doubled in size every day?
Whoa. Whoa. Oh dear.
Yeah.
I don't like that at all.
Yeah. So obviously, double in size every day. That's what we should do to Sylvanas.